What's good, YouTube? So once again, it's kind of a slow Sonic news week, and I haven't really spoken to you guys in a little bit, so I feel like there's a couple things that have been coming out, like little tiny breadcrumbs, that have finally given me enough information to kind of make a video for you guys. So it's going to be kind of a broad discussion. Today, we're going to be talking about Sonic Movie 2 as well as Sonic Frontiers. So as usual, we'll cover as much news in as little time. Let's get into the discussion. We're going to roll the clip. So first things first, there's a couple new Sonic Movie 2 renders and posters that I wanted to show you guys and kind of get into a little bit of a discussion about that. We also have a new 2022 Sonic brand promotion poster as well that a lot of people on Twitter have been kind of freaking out about, so we'll get into that. And last but not least, we have a Sonic Frontiers Q&A leak from 4chan that initially appeared on Reddit. So a lot to get into, but also not really at the same time. But let's start with Sonic Movie 2. So IGN FanFest came and went this weekend, and there was nothing really important that came out of that. Not saying that wasn't expected, but whenever they talk about Sonic, it's always fair to speculate, like, yo, we might get something. And it was cool. Like, I enjoyed it. I actually had a really good time. I thought Ben Schwartz was really good in front of the camera. Like, he's just a natural. He was eating it up. But overall, nothing really new came out of it. But we did find out that the movie is going to be 2 hours long. It's going to be at least 30 minutes longer than the first one. So it's going to be a full-length Sonic movie full of Sonic lore, which the cast and the director said themselves. So it feels like Sonic Movie 2, as of right now, is really carrying the Sonic brand. It just seems like they could do no wrong. They've been fully transparent. They've been giving the fans exactly what they want, unlike Sonic Team and Sega. But after IGN FanFest, we got a couple of new posters that are pretty cool that I wanted to show with you guys. First one up is we got this brand new render of Tails, and he's looking really good. I gotta say, I'm very impressed with how they're treating Tails' character. Feels like he's gonna have a significant role in this story. Next up, we got our blue boy, Sonic the Hedgehog, and it looks like he's in that snowboarding scene, and he has this really just cool facial expression. It brings a lot of life to the character, a lot of attitude, a lot of edge, something that is the complete opposite of some of the renders we've seen with Sonic Team, but I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. And last but not least, we have a new poster of Knuckles. Once again, it looks like this is part of the snowboarding scene as well, and he looks great. Knuckles is looking fantastic. I gotta say, the Sonic Cinematic Universe is really bringing the characterization of these characters back. For a long time, Tails and Knuckles have been kind of a meme, even Sonic as well with the whole meta era. It just feels really good to see that the characters are going to get the proper representation that they deserve. From what it seems like right now, the movie is the primary focus of the Sonic brand, and that's for good reason, because I think there's really no way that this movie fails, and it's going to generate, one, a lot of money, and two, a lot of attention to the IP. So the movie's been doing it right. They've been radio silent on Frontiers. We don't really know what's going on, and right now the movie's carrying the franchise. Like, they're literally killing it. Jakks Pacific also just unveiled new Sonic Movie 2 toys and plushes that look really cool, and it just feels like that this movie is going to bring so much life into this franchise. A lot of kids who watch this movie for the first time are going to go out and purchase these toys and plushes, and it's just going to bring a lot of buzz back to Sonic. Look at some of these figures and plushes. They look really good. They even have a Jim Carrey Robotnik, which is pretty funny. And Sonic Movie 2 also just partnered with McDonald's as well. A McDonald's collab is huge. McDonald's literally runs the fast food world, so we can get into all that. But everyone remembers as a kid some of the marketing campaigns McDonald's has done for some IPs, myself included. McDonald's did a Happy Meal campaign with Sonic Heroes, and that's what got me into the franchise to begin with. And ever since, I've been a lifelong Sonic fan that has purchased probably almost every Sonic product to release. Some of these toys look really good, and if you look at the bottom right corner, we see the Death Egg robot, so maybe that might be the final boss of the movie. I'm not really sure, but this is a really good development. Sonic Movie 2 is doing everything correct. Hopefully, the marketing for Sonic Frontiers can be half as good as the marketing for this movie has been. And speaking of Sonic Frontiers, we have a new promotional render of Sonic that has been drawing a lot of criticism on Twitter. So this guy Dave Luddy tweeted this out. He said, "Just been sent this. Sega are using this image to promote the Sonic brand in 2022. It features Sonic Frontiers in the ring." So let's take a closer look at the image, and this is a weird looking render of Sonic. I'm not gonna lie, it's like that same old generic render that we've been used to, but it's a little interesting. You got Frontiers in the ring, and then in the background, once again, it looks like we're gonna see some type of cyberspace environment. But yo, a lot of people have been on Twitter just bugging out about this. With that being said, going back to the movie poster, look how expressive and cool Sonic looks. looks, and then go look at the Frontiers poster, it doesn't look good. He looks lifeless, it looks generic, it looks boring. I get it. I understand why people are upset about this, but once again, the question is kind of creeping back. Like, is Sonic really going into a multimedia franchise? Multimedia was always part of the Sonic brand, but are they showing more love to that side of the character than the video game side? That's really up to you guys to decide. You guys let me know what you think. But overall, it doesn't look good, but I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. Life will go on. It's not going to determine whether Sonic Frontiers is going to be good or bad. So that's really all I have to say about it. People can have their opinions. People can debate. That's fine. You're not a better person because you're holding Sega accountable. And you're also not a better person by freaking out about people even like debating this. Realistically, to me, I don't give a fuck. I want to see some gameplay. All right, now let's get into the meat of the video. Let's talk about this Sonic Frontiers Q&A leak that was found on 4chan and then posted on Reddit. So you guys know the drill. It's a leak from 4chan, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. One thing I really like about this leak though is that it's a Q&A leak that came out before Sonic Frontiers was officially announced. And if you try to click on the Reddit link that directs to the original 4chan Q&A, it's actually unavailable, which is something I find very interesting. 4chan is one of those sites where you can kind of like say whatever. I don't think they're like censoring anything over there. You can get away with saying just about anything over there. So the fact that it was taken down is pretty interesting. Maybe it was true and they've been directed to take it down. Who really knows? Okay, let's read this lengthy post. It says, for starters, the leakers posted a picture of the survey they had to take after playtesting the game. It's about their experience with the game's Chow Garden and looks similar to the survey leak that name dropped Starfall Islands long before it was officially announced. Much like the survey leak, the picture is not an original render but was probably thrown in there to fit in with the theme. This of course could have been intentionally fabricated to look like that leak, so don't take this as confirmation. Unlike most leaks, this information is more of a Q&A format with the supposed game testers sharing their experience with the demo via answering questions. A lot of the information are things we've heard before from other leaks, but there are some new details. If you don't want to go through the whole thread, here's the info summarized. Chow Garden is back, but is lacking a lot of features it had in SA2. When asked on a scale of 1 to 10 how shown in this game felt, the leaker said 5.5. Boost stages don't do much different than what you've seen before, presumably Generation / Unleashed, so this game probably won't change your opinion on boost gameplay whether you're for or against it. The meat of the game is the open world, with action stages playing a smaller part. Overworld gameplay is adventure with combat. You have the proper momentum physics, but apparently there weren't many hills or loops to take advantage of for it to really stand out. You can only run on specific walls, which some people speculated given the odd patterns along the walls in the trailer. There are loops in the open world, just not in the areas we've seen. Leaker played in a different environment from what was shown. The stone chairs in the trailer are how you access the action stages. You collect orbs through fighting mini bosses and bringing one of the structures to create a portal. In the trailer, you can actually see one of the structures glowing, probably indicating that you've gathered enough orbs. Combat is fast-paced and flashy, but also mindless. The leaker was able to see a titan walking around in the distance, but wasn't able to approach it. The ancient ruins in the trailer apparently house mini bosses or platforming challenges. Quote-unquote Korok creatures can be found in the open world, and they give you small challenges that are incredibly easy. Sonic's model in the demo is the Force's model, and considering they said he didn't have idle animations nor was he that expressive, the animations from Forces are likely reused as well. Granted, they never specified how long ago they played the demo, and the restrictions they had in not being able to go beyond the area somewhat indicate that they played an older build. Music in the overworld is like Breath of the Wild. Music in the action stages is rock, potentially like SA2 given Jun Sinu is the composing artist for the game. Enemies look like Magitech robots and monsters from Unleashed Night stages. The Unleashed style enemies can debuff Sonic. No NPCs aside from the Korok creatures on top of the towers that can upgrade your moves. Spin Cycle was a prominent move in the demo and could be upgraded to stun enemies along with damaging them. And the Ghost Girl is a cute anime girl that looks like Shahara and Merlina from the storybook games. I feel like that's the longest leak I've covered in a while. So the major things to highlight is, one, they say that there's going to be a Chow Garden. Is this possible? Yeah, I think it is. There was a survey back in 2019 that asked like what feature do Sonic players want to see return, and the Chow Garden won overwhelmingly. The Chow Garden is a no-brainer to put in if they do decide to do that. Even the most casual person that plays video games that might have not played a Sonic game in like 15 years will recognize the Chow Garden. Everyone talks about it and everyone remembers it. I think the buzz alone of a Chow Garden coming back would draw a lot of interest for this game and would maximize replayability. I'm not saying this will happen or if I 100% believe that there's going to be a Chow Garden, but there's some signs that show it could be possible. We also know that Sega is working on a new Sonic mobile game, so what if there's a Chow Garden in Frontiers and the mobile game pairs with it? They can make a lot of money and bring a lot of attention. Another part of this leak that I like is that they gave a rating as to how much Shonen Sonic we'll see, which is basically Dark Age Sonic. And since we have Ian Flynn writing this game, I think we'll definitely trend more so in that direction. I think the character is going to take himself a little bit more serious. He's not going to clown on himself. So I like this. It's a good development. I'd like 10 out of 10, but it's better than 0 out of 10, which is what we've seen in the meta era. As far as boost gameplay goes, I think we have a good idea that will appear in this game. A lot of leaks have said this. Most leaks are saying that we'll see this in the cyberspace. I'm not 100% against this. I really hope there's no 2D sections in these boost levels, but if they're similar to Unleashed or Generations, then it's not too bad. I would say the best thing is that they say the overworld is the meat of the game, so there's going to be a heavy focus on that. It'll appeal to the adventure fans and the boost fans, so I guess they really can't go wrong. I want to see physics and momentum, which is part of the core identity of Sonic, and they said that this will be in the game, so that's also a good development as well. The only problem is they said there's not really much use for it, but then again, they probably were playing an early build of the game, so there's a lot of time to add things and get playtesters feedback, so I'm not too worried about that yet. And once again, this is like the 7th leak that talks about orb collecting and the combat system and some RPG elements with abilities that you can level up, so I'm pretty cool with that. I think it's going to be a nice change of pace, and I personally love RPG games. We've seen this a lot of times as well, that the enemies are kind of Breath of the Wild inspired, and they also might be similar to the nighttime Sonic Unleashed monsters. This all does seem pretty much in line with what the game world's trying to build, at least what we've seen in the trailer, so I don't disagree with that. I think that's going to be in the game. And the last thing is that they said that the Sonic Forces model will be in the game. Some people have said that this is a placeholder, although to me that's a theory. I don't think it's confirmed at all. One way or the other, I'm really not that upset about the Sonic Forces model. I would like to see them animate it, give it a little bit more expression, but to me, I really don't care about the model. I just want this game to be good. So yeah, we just covered a lot of stuff. Brand new Sonic Movie 2 posters, merch, Sonic Frontiers renders, Sonic Frontiers leaks, and just a huge discussion. A lot of the leaks about Sonic Frontiers sound very promising, but that's just what they are. They're only leaks. It's almost March, and now I'm starting to panic like, hey, it's time to hear some news about this game. We haven't seen gameplay, we haven't seen anything. I'm not entirely worried, but at the same time, I do want to see some more. I think the plan for Sega right now is to let the movie dominate the headlines and build up hype for the IP. Once the movie drops, then we'll start going into Frontiers, so maybe expect that around May or June. I was hoping for a little bit earlier, but at this point, that doesn't seem to be the case. So we are turning the mic back over to you. Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments about all this information that I discussed. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, thumbs up, share with a friend, and drop a comment down below. You know the drill, you know the vibes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I have nothing else to report to you guys, so until I see you next time, peace out.